the legs / feet, because they are wider open, they need to be stuffed, but they can't really be stuffed enough until it's partially sewn onto the body. Otherwise the stuffing's just going to come out. It's not very securely stuffed. Now with these being so small, it's kind of not a big deal, but in other pieces you might see something that's like this big, that's like a oval or something, or a half circle, and you got to sew it on, but there's so much stuffing that's not going to be able to be put in there. So you're going to sew part of the way and then start adding stuffing. So we're going to go ahead and sew like we have been with the blending. Just tack it down. And then going through the front loops and coming out right before, or right directly below the next stitch. And I'm gonna just kind of move my pins as I go to make sure that I am keeping, I probably should have put more pins down actually. Oh well, it's fine. So we're gonna keep going until we get like 3/4 of the way, maybe halfway. It's kind of a small piece. And one thing is, try not to forget that you need to stuff before you finish sewing this closed, because that has happened to me a few times and it is so frustrating to have to go and unpick those threads where I sewed stuff down. It is such a pain. Oops. Okay, and this is where I would start stuffing. This is kind of in the way, so I'm actually gonna just pull that off. I'm gonna unpin that. And I know that I want it to be center, so I'm gonna put this pin down. Oh, maybe if it wants to go through, that's kind of a tight spot. Okay. So I'm actually gonna go down one more, I think. Oh, right about where that pin is. Okay, so now we're gonna pull out these pins. I'm gonna take some stuffing and just put that in there. And you can use the butt of your hook too if you need. If you've made the hole like too small, you forgot to stuff it until you got to like the very end, use the butt of your hook to get the and just use small pieces of stuffing. Get that in there. And then as you sew it more and more, you can continue to add stuffing because it'll get more and more secured down. Let's see, where am I at? Okay, I haven't done this one yet. This is such a hard spot. Okay, we're going over here. Go one more and then stuff it a little bit more. Just a teensy bit. And then I always like to, if I'm trying to get into a tight spot, I'll sort of roll it until it's more of a ball. That makes it easier to get the stuffing in there. Kind of squish that. And I'll put a teensy bit more stuffing. There we go. And then I'm going to finish sewing that closed. Back through that one again. Okay, that one's on there. And I'm actually going to leave this strand here because the likelihood of having to finagle it or re-sew it is quite high, I think, because I want to make sure it's nice and centered with the other foot.